I envy the people of Texas, believe it or not. I live in North Carolina, and especially here in central North Carolina, and even more so in eastern North Carolina. There's not a whole lot of snowstorms around here. When I was growing up in northeastern North Carolina, um, I grew up. We had normal snowstorms, maybe maybe one or two giant snowstorms a year, and then maybe some dusty flakes here and there. It was always enough. The dusty flakes was enough to shut down school, and we went home that day and maybe had another day off till it was safe to go back, or maybe we were gone for about a half a week or almost a week from school. The downside was that you had to go make up your school days later on, and that was always kind of a that always kind of sucked having to do that. But the point I'm trying to make is we used to have down here in North Carolina, we used to have normal winter cycles. 1988 was the last snow I saw in the state of North Carolina. I did not see a drop of snow in North Carolina from 1988 until 1996. And I was living in three different towns at that time. Lived in a town called Ahoskie in northeastern North Carolina. No snow in at all. Lived in Greenville while I was in college at East Carolina University. No snow at all. Moved to Johnston County in 1995. Didn't see any snow until late January, early February 1996. Finally saw some snow in North Carolina for the first time in 8 years. Now, to me, that proves that's one of the reasons I believe we have global warming. We have a global warming crisis. Now, people tell me, well, what about Texas? Well, here in North Carolina, we still get occasional big snows. It's just less often, and even less often down in Texas. So I envy Texas this week. I wish we had some of that snow. I love it around here. I mean, I love it. I love snow. And some people give me dirty looks about it. But let me talk about how the snowstorm relates to partisan politics. As you know, the devastating snowstorm in Texas, and Texas are is pretty known for their mild winters, and it's hot as hell for the most part, for the most part of the year. So this is highly unusual, as I said. It's kind of a state of emergency going on now. Ted Cruz, U.S. Senator Ted Cruz of Texas. If you know anything about me, you know I'm not going to like Ted Cruz. You know my opinion of Ted Cruz is pretty damn negative. A man that was influenced by him. Since I'm in North Carolina talking about my experience living here in North Carolina, one of his greatest heroes was Jesse Helms, one of the worst senators that ever became senator in modern times in the United States Senate. I think the only person that could have made being a senator worse than Jesse Helms would have been if the people of Alabama would have voted for Roy Moore back in late 2017. Thank goodness that didn't happen. Um, Ted Cruz is basically Jesse Helms with perhaps without the racism. But the thing about it is that Ted Cruz is usually bad news. Don't like the man, have a negative opinion of him. He's virtually wrong on every issue imaginable. Having that said, um, I really don't give a damn if he and his family went to Cancun. That's right. I don't give a damn. You're talking about nobody criticizes Ted Cruz more than I do, but I don't give a damn that he went to Cancun. It's a non-issue for me. It's not as if he could wave a magic wand and make the snow disappear. And I know I'm right now. It sounds like I'm defending an elitist piece of crap of a human being, which he is a piece of crap of a human being. But here's the thing: his going to Cancun how is it affecting all of us, one way or the other? If he would have stayed home, how would it affect all of us? Not one, not one bit whatsoever. This is just a chance for partisan Democrats to make their base forget about stimulus checks, because we've been promised $2,000. I'm more concerned about the $2,000 that we're all entitled to than Ted Cruz going to Cancun. Or healthcare reform. We can't have Medicare for all, but Biden promised to expand Obamacare and have a public option. I'm more concerned about reforming healthcare than Ted Cruz going down to Cancun. We've been promised $15 hour minimum wage. I'm more concerned about raising the minimum wage to $15 an hour than Ted Cruz going down to Cancun. You see, what's going on here is that the Democrats are doing the same thing as Republicans when it comes to Bernie Sanders. Oh, Mr. Sanders, since you're such a socialist, why do you have 3 houses? Why you're technically, a 6-figure income individual these days? Since you're such a socialist, shouldn't you be giving away everything and living like a pauper? Again, socialism doesn't mean that you live like a pauper. I'm okay that Bernie Sanders had 3 houses. Bernie Sanders is probably still one of the poorest, economically poorest members of the U.S. Senate. But I don't care. At least with Bernie Sanders, he's fighting to get me health care. Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer want you to forget about health care and focus on things like Ted Cruz going down to Cancun, or having something like a 9/11 commission on the January 6th insurrection that took place, where Ted Cruz played a part. Why don't you focus on that? Not focus on the fact that he went to Cancun. Actually focus on the shitty things that Ted Cruz has done over the years. I don't consider him going to Cancun a shitty thing one way or the other. I don't get it. The priorities of these politicians to wage these little, tit for tat issues. That doesn't mean anything. I mean, do I respect Ted Cruz for going down to Cancun while people are stuck in Texas? Not particularly. There's a whole lot worse things that Ted Cruz has done than to go to Cancun while there is a devastating snowstorm in Texas. My God, I wish it was the worst thing he's ever done. Priorities. I'm tired of politicians and the media trying to distract from what is the real problem. Income equality, income equality, income equality. Raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour. Expanding health care. Hopefully, Medicare for all. But if we're stuck with Obamacare, to have a public option, to have Medicare and Medicaid expansion throughout the U.S. states. And a stimulus check right now. Thank you very much. If you like what you heard, press like and comment. Comment anyway. If you weren't too thrilled about my words, share the content on this channel. It's the First Amendment absolutist. It's my duty to inform you, to create a platform, utilize it, because we're the muckrakers of our time. And hit that notification bell, hit that subscribe button, and keep informed. And until next time, peace. I'm American Social Democracy. Peace. And let's engage in this struggle to build a social democratic America.